Gazbot, Day 12, 100 Days of Making Comics. So anyway, this is my second time going through this whole thing. I have finally gotten my new camera, which came late last night. Part of what I did today was experimenting around and playing with it. But it's a GoPro Hero 3 Plus, and it has like a case that you put on it to keep it protected if you're out on your bike or whatever. And that's the idea with this, like, oh, I could use it for regular filming stuff, but also do fun activity stuff. But when I was practicing earlier, I was using it without the case a lot, or with the case, but I was playing loud music. And I was like, well, this works. I don't need to worry about the focus and the lighting and as much anyway. And so I recorded my whole long spiel tirade and went to edit it, and with the volume all the way up, you could barely hear what I was saying because the case being on means the microphone doesn't pick up things as easily. So anyway, this is take 2, and we're learning. Similarly, I turned this light on. I didn't have it on in the last take. Hopefully it's not washing me out as much as it did last time with this new camera. I'm sure it looks better as far as resolution. It's like 1080, D whatever. But I'm still figuring things out, and the lighting is still just whatever lights I have available. Moving on. Today, as I said in my last video, I spent a lot of the day working on music stuff, guitar and vocal stuff. Tomorrow we're going to record 6 tracks. I think I'm only going to be on, no, I guess I'm going to be on all 6, but I'm only singing on 3 or 4 of them and playing guitar on like 3 or 4 of them. Doesn't matter. I still had to work on some stuff, and I was rusty. I needed it. The bad news is I don't have any drawing done today. That doesn't mean I didn't work on the comic project. I actually worked on it for 2 hours, but it was all writing. I did about an hour and a half, after I'd worked on the music stuff, I did about an hour and a half of writing and got 7 pages of... Hi, hold on a sec. Hi, buddy, come here. Oh, Rocky wanted to be picked up. Rocky's like, hey, put me in the video. I'm a good cat. You are. You're kind of a jerk, though. He's a jerk. He's my jerk. But anyway, so I did 7 pages of scripting on the 2nd issue. That took about an hour and a half. Then I had dinner and did a few other things. I was going to be done, but I was like, once again, why not round it up to 2 hours? So I did another half-hour of writing, got about another page and a half done, so for a total of 8.5 pages scripted for issue 2 today. Rocky wanted to get down. So a total of 8.5 pages scripted for issue 2 today is what I got done. And it's funny because I keep coming back to it's easier to write the further you get in, and that's true to an extent. But there's still certain scenes and parts that I have trouble just getting myself to do. And I feel like these last couple of pages I've just been plodding through. I'm doing it, I'm working it, but there's not a lot of joy in it because it's just connecting the dots. And I feel like what I enjoy about writing, as someone who doesn't consider himself a writer, is coming up with an idea, coming up with a plot, coming up with characters, all the kind of building blocks of a world, and of a story, like kind of, here's how it's going to end, and here are the characters in it. And then all the stuff in between of how do you get from point A to point B, or C, D, E, F, whatever, is a little less interesting to me. And that's a lot of what I've been doing. And so there's like, I don't know, 10 pages almost of dialogue. Now, intercut with that, there's action and things going on, but it's like talk, 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 cut away to a thing. Talk, 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 you know, and so I'm trying to find ways to make that interesting, not just for myself, but for the potential readers in the future, because you don't want to see pages and pages of talking heads. So I've been trying to do a lot of things like cutting away. People are discussing something that's happening. I show the thing that's happening and then have them talking over it, which will make it more fun to draw, hopefully more interesting to look at. There's only so much I could do that because I do still need to show people's emotions at certain points if they're angry with each other or whatever, and I need to show environments and kind of identify who is speaking before I can go ahead and move it to a different visual. So there's still just a lot of that. And also, again, the dialogue of getting point A to point B plot-wise is a lot harder for me than character development stuff, and what I'm working on right now is necessary dialogue to drive the plot forward, but not necessarily, you know, revealing of people's characters. I mean, a little bit, because anytime somebody talks, ideally they'd be revealing some of their character. But regardless, I did 8.5 pages. I'm happy with that, and hopefully, I haven't reread any of what I've written since I started doing final scripting. I have the whole 1st issue done. I'm more than halfway done with the 2nd issue now. Depending on how it goes, it's going to be 3 or 4 issues total, probably 4. When I get done with that 4th issue, I'm going to go back and read everything I've written so far. And at that point, right before I go into thumbnails, I might make a couple quick corrections. Nothing too picayune with the minutia, but if there's anything that jumps out, like this is terrible, or this doesn't make sense, or this is boring, that I could just like, oh, cut that out, change that, whatever. And there's a few things I already think maybe I should, but rather than keep reworking this page, I'm just moving forward, and then gonna revise as a whole, because I'd rather have 4 issues done and scripted that are imperfect, that maybe I can make a few changes to, than every day of my update be like, yeah, I worked on those same 3 pages of issue 2 again. Oh well, I did 2 more pages that I redid again. You know, and I'll do that forever, if because that's what I do with drawing. So again, it's weirdly easier to catch myself in bad habits with writing, because since I don't consider myself a writer, I'm not as precious about it, and I won't feel as judged. If somebody, when this is done, I want people to enjoy the story. I want it to be a good story, and I think it will be. But if someone says, yeah, it looked great, it was a little boring, or I didn't quite get it, or but it looked awesome, while that's not the ideal review, I'm fine with that. If, however, someone said the story was great, I loved it, but the art was garbage, then I'll punch them in the crotch and stab myself in the throat. So crotch throat. So don't say that to me unless you want a crotch throat. So meanwhile, the rest of the day, like I said, I was working on guitar and vocals, so since I have nothing drawing-wise to show you, and I can't really show you writing other than what I just discussed, I'm going to go ahead and put up a little snippety-doo of some singing and guitaring right here. I won't put a whole song, don't worry, but just, I think it's kind of interesting, even if you hate my music, which you might. And it's just rough me playing guitar and then me practicing vocals, which sound lovely, let me tell you. But I was using the GoPro on like a wide angle, kind of up high, so it's kind of an interesting angle to look at, and if you're interested in the GoPro, it'll give you that. So anyway, here's that. Yeah. Oh. There it was. Also, that's a song I'm practicing in Japanese. I don't really speak Japanese. I know a little bit, but I certainly don't know that much. So that's interesting. I'm actually doing 2 songs in Japanese. One I don't feel so uncomfortable about. This one I thought was funnier, both in the content of the song and with my screw-ups and stuff. The other guy in the band is the primary singer, but I wanted to have a chance to sing it too, so I'm kind of... That's like a bonus track. If we do 6 songs and then we'll have 1 extra that'll be the exact same song, except for me singing it badly. So that's that. The first clip you saw, by the way, was from Benihana's lovely Onion Volcano, which was for my friend's birthday party the night before. That was still shot with the iPhone, so if you notice a difference in resolution, that's why. And going forward, it's possible there still might be iPhone footage interspersed. The hero will be used for if I'm filming like drafting table or me talking or anything home or in the studio. But if I'm out in the world or get an idea for a funny little thing, or I just want to have a little extra filler, I might use my iPhone. You've been warned. So be ready. Don't be. He used his iPhone. Oh, we can't watch this anymore. So once you go GoPro, you can't go back. That's not true. once you see something interesting, you use the tools at hand to acquire it. Oh, that sounds weird. I acquire things with the tools at hand. Look, it's a mountain. Bring it to me with these children I have. They're my tools. Okay, I'm getting way off track. So I think what I might do is I might have some old sketches, and I'll throw one of those up at the end over the little credits things. It'll probably be like an early sketch before I started any of this, but somehow still related to the horror project. Oh, I know exactly what I'll put up. I have a Bic pen sketch of the General Military Commander, which I showed you in an earlier like vlog update. But this was one that I forgot I'd even done. I found where he looked more like a stereotypical, like a mustache white guy, you know, which I then obviously went a completely different direction. So I'll throw that up so that you'll know what you're seeing at the end there. And that's the end of today. Today is day 12. So tomorrow I'll be in the studio from 10 to 8. So that'll be most of my day. I don't know if I'll even feel like working when I get home. I probably won't, but if I have to, I'll put some time in and make a video. What I might do is bring my iPad with me to write because I use this app called Evernote, and I could use it there and it'll transfer to computer. It's magic. And maybe I'll bring a sketch pad to do some analog character designs or something like that. So hopefully I could just do a little work in my downtime in the studio. If not, it'll be a really short work day afterwards. And that's it. So we're out for day 12, 12% down, 88% left to go. And if 12%, okay, 12% down, 88% to go. What's another, but if I don't want to say 88%, well, I guess I could say it differently, like
88 days left.